All right, let's watch how they play. I want to study their breaks. The breaks, normal stuff. 6 taking a pinch with the first guy in flow. He's waiting for the timing on number 1 to turn round. Now he's going to activate as soon as kills are made. 4 is going to tell him to turn round. Nice, they're going to flip instantly. All right, everyone pause. First question, easy enough. What's the win condition here? What's our win condition with 38 seconds if you are OpTic Texas? 40 seconds in time, so again, map control is what I'm thinking. Win condition here is to soak, my man. Middle 20. Win condition for your middle 20 is to soak. Right, from a flow perspective and a game plan perspective, what do we want to do? What is the first thing we should be thinking here? After we get 4 down is our trigger event. What is the first thing that you should be thinking immediately? Before anything else? Yes, good. All right, where they're spawning. Okay, why? What does that allow you to do? It allows you to do a couple of things. 2 things. When you know where someone is spawning, what does it allow you to think of? He doesn't want it. Why is it important to know when you get a 4 down, your 4 down is a trigger event? Why is it important to know where they're spawning? What are some of the pieces of information that you can gather to make the game easy? Spawn knowledge is map control? Nope, not necessarily, Draco. Good answer, but not the answer I'm looking for. Every single time when you know where people are spawning, there's a couple pieces of information that will follow from that for you to then do something. We won't talk about the then do, but what pieces of information are really important. So I spawn here. Boom. Okay, a bit more than that. So let's keep it simple, guys. Again, keep it simple. Stop skipping steps. When you know where people are spawning, you can understand based on your position timings. Remember, there are 2 different types of timings. This is macro timings. Macro timings is relative to your position. What is the quickest and second quickest route they could take to get into a fight with you? That's really important because then that can tell you how much space you can take, right? We need to make sure we do the step number 1 first, properly, before you do the following chain. Okay, right, we know the timings, you know where they're spawning. What does this allow us to do? Allow us to read. What does this allow us to read? I'll tell you what it is. It's reading the pressure. Reading the pressure is understanding where the enemy's push is going to come from in order for you in your flow to be able to react off it and put yourself in positions to trade or team shot. Right? It's pressure. Good. Every single time. That's what we want to know. It has to be muscle memory. It has to be instinctual. This is what we call intuition. You do it long enough. You do it repetitively enough. You know basically what it is every single time. Now, if I know where you're spawning and I know potentially what routes you're going to take, this is where game plans and systems come in. So remember, from a flow perspective, we're talking about the numbers in which someone is in a conveyor belt. Like as we're progressing up the map based on where the enemies are spawning, who in what order of a spawn is responsible for what lane. So he's going to play time. What do we think number 6 is going to do in a 4 down? As part of their game plan. What do you think he's going to do? 6 goes shop. Yes. Now, 6, you're watching the pros lift all the trophies. You dream about seeing your name in the lights. You wish you could be good enough to make content. You wish you could be good enough to play like the players you are watching in this video. But nothing's changing. Again, you're stuck. You're making the same mistakes, the same frustrations, the same gunfights you feel like you should be winning, the same ceiling. You look around and the players who just look like they come out of nowhere, players who used to be below you, players that are younger than you, getting better than you, climbing past you. They're the ones who get the opportunities. And you're sat there and you don't know why. My name is D-Real. I am the 2023 Call of Duty World Champion. I have spent over 10 years at the highest level of Call of Duty. I've coached players like Hydra, Crimsix, Sib, Clayster, Neptune, Skies. I've even coached Myth. He has 11 million followers. I'm a CDL World Champion. I've won 15 titles and challenges. And I've also competed at the highest level myself. I've played at the Advanced Warfare Pro League, Infinite Warfare Champs, and World War II Champs, with the top 5 KD and Slayer rating for that event. I know exactly what separates you from them. Here's what most of you guys don't realize. You're not stuck because you don't grind enough. A lot of you guys put enough hours in. But guess what? You are stuck because you don't know what you don't know. You're grinding without a system. Pro players, they can shoot, they can move. But guess what they have? They have better systems than you. How they think, how they decide, how they read the game, how they recover. That's the gap. And that's exactly what I rebuild in 8 hours with you. Now, you stop being a player that people don't want to team with. That player that people want to team with. The player that casters mention. I have 1 slot left for July, 1 slot left for August. I will not be doing this in September. Once it's gone, it's gone. You have missed the opportunity to learn from the best in the world, how the best do it. This is a system that has been built with the pro players that you watch. This is the only chance you will ever get to learn how your favorite players do it and think. The wall of wins speaks for itself. September, there's a good chance I will not be doing this. October, I will consider opening up 6 slots. So if you are interested, make sure you get on the website and buy, or message me on Discord and we can arrange a time slot. Duos, trios, full squads, 8 hours of full coaching, the same system that I built CDL Champions on. You name it, how you look at the game, what you think about the game, decision making, breakdowns, mechanics, everything rebuilt from the ground up for your actual team. You do not have to figure any of this out yourself. I will do the analysis. I build you up. I do all the work. You show up, apply the system, and watch you and your teammates transform. Here's my guarantee. You do the 8 hours, you apply it for 30 days, and you will, and I guarantee it, every single person has, you will rank up, and I will keep coaching you for free if you don't. Players who have done my coaching, they have gone on to play for top challenger teams. Some of them are in the pro league. One player went from platinum to top 250 in 16 hours. That is not a coincidence. That is a system with deliberate, purposeful practice. You and your teammates get the same system. Duos, trios, quads, get that discount. Limited because I put time into you. He's gonna go shop and he's gonna bump out to their side. Now, they have 2 options. He could potentially bump him out and push forward, or based on the weapon he has, he can go into shop himself and pick up the furthest lane. This is part of game plan. This is part of refilling. Understand, right, what is step 1? Once we've done step 1, what lanes are open? Where are they spawning? How can we do step 2? Let me get rid of that. So right here, I expect 6 to push out, play around here. Number 3 is going to spawn up. Number 4 is going to spawn up. They'll refill where necessary. Number 4 will watch the pinch. That's how he's going to fly. Either option is completely fine. Either option is completely fine, right? Either Shotty can go shop and bump out towards their side, knowing they spawn in P5, or Mercules can bump out because he might have the quicker timing and Shotty refill hill. Both is completely fine. In a perfect world, in a very efficient world, because you've got a clean 4, well, he's not really going to bump out because he doesn't know if number 2 is going to be mid-cut already. But had it been slightly more cleaner, I expect number 7 to push through and 6 to refill time. Or even 6 to push out, 3 refills time, last guy watches the pinch. So let's see what they end up doing here. And this is where you start to see step 1 and step 2 in the way that teams are playing for setups, playing to read the pressure. And this is something that you guys can steal when you're playing in ranked. This is what we call a linear situation. There's going to be so many situations that occur quite often. If you put 100 hours into a game, you might get into the same situations. When you get into the same situations, you have the same response and the same answer every single time. Now, game plans and systems are really important because once you understand, first of all, where people are spawning, then you understand where the timings are going to come from, then you understand where the pressure is going to be, you can then, based on what number in the flow you are, you can pick up lanes based on the weapon you have. Then it just becomes a case of, how do I win my 1 kill? How do I do my 25% in the next wave? Because I keep on saying it, and you guys know, Call of Duty is a game about getting to the next best position, either to get a kill or info. If we're doing step 2, and we know what our game plans are immediately, based on my timings, And based on the weapon I have, I am going to position myself in a way that increases my percentage of winning that fight or getting the first kill because I have the option to do so. So I'm curious to see what number 6 is going to do. He'll have an SMG. So what he's going to try and do is take SMG positions to try and take SMG fights, because when you get to the highest level, it's not about who has the best aim or the best movement. Usually a lot of the times it's going to come down to who's the best prepared in the fights that they take, as well as like the teamwork element. Now, once you're in your step 2 and your game plan, then you're just trying to read the pressure and start to trade out. Okay, another question for you guys. Let's think your LAT right here. Let's break it down. What do they need to do? They've just spawned up. What do they need to do? Haid, what do you think they need to do here? Keep it simple. Keep it dumb. What do they need to do? Do they have hill control? Have they got hill control? So we got to get set up for a break. This is spot on, Bluesy, spot on. So if we need to get set up for a break, this is another linear situation. Meaning, these are situations, if you're a good Call of Duty team and you have a good mind for Call of Duty, you'll start to recognize there are repeatable situations in which you want to do the same thing over and over and over. Either that's promoting teamwork, the best ways to get a kill, the best ways to give information. It's all the same. The macros all the same. Quick one. Just stay with me for 60 seconds. I'm going to tell you something about your own aim that is going to change the way that you shoot forever. Your aim is bad. I'm not trying to insult you. It is the truth. It's not your settings. It's not your controllers. It's not your internet. It's not your dead zone. You've changed your sensitivity about 50 times in the past 5 years. It's never going to fix it, because the problem is not in your hands. It's in your eyes. When you say you need to train your aim, what are you actually training? Because most players, for you guys that are watching, you've never really thought about it. You load in, bot lobby, you just shoot. Aiming is not one skill. It is 4 completely different skills. Flicking, tracking, micro correction, target switching. Each one uses a different part of your brain. Each one needs a specific drill. Each one needs to be trained properly. What you are doing is the equivalent of going to the gym and you're just lifting random things. My pro players, my CDL champions have trained the same way as athletes that train their sport. One skill, one drill, one sequence at a time. That's why their aim is consistent and yours isn't. They're not more talented than you. They're more structured than you. So I give you that structure. 4 skills in the right order, the right amount. This is the whole point of my aim and moving masterclass for you to download. Inside, you'll get an aiming and movement video, a neuroscience of aiming guide, 30-day training calendar, champions daily practice planner, optimal CDL settings cheat sheet, and a before and after self-assessment. You download it once, lifetime access. Do this 20 minutes a day for 30 days. I will guarantee your aim will improve. Not just your aim, but how you aim and how you look at aiming. Check out dreal.co.uk. and click this big gold button right here to get yourself on the course page, or check out the link in the description if you want it. Right, back to the video. There's not that much you could do differently. This is another form of a linear situation, and this is now where we start to use our flow to develop a rule. What number in the flow is Paco? What number in the flow is he? We have to break the hill. You know where he spawns. He's the first guy. Good. Now, this is where your flow can make your job a lot easier, especially if you're aware of the situation you are in. A lot of ranked players that I coach and that I see, they don't have this full chessboard perspective because they're so worried about what they need to do. Before you're so worried about what you need to do, you need to be able to understand what is happening on the map. When you spawn up in this situation, you know you have to break the hill. You are predicting based on the previous wave where people are going to be. The game is linear. Wherever I think I would play if I was OpTic, I know that's gonna be the case if I'm LAT. Because think about it, if you flip it over. Oh, we've got 4 down, so I'm gonna go here, 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 and here. Everybody plays the same way to a certain extent, right? Now, if you're LAT, you already have an idea of what spots, what hot spots, and what common spots OpTic are going to be playing in order to put you in a blend. This is what we call a disadvantageous position for LAT. The reason why it's a disadvantageous position for LAT is because OpTic have everything. OpTic are in a position of strength. In order to minimize the damage when you are in a disadvantageous position, you need to be able to use teamwork and follow some rules. So when we're trying to break, there's a rule that the first guy will always have. What do you think that is, Bluesy? What do you think that rule is as the first guy on a break? What is the rule that he should always do? Or in most cases do? Take her out. What's good, Leezy? Yes. Good. Every single time when you are the first guy in flow and you recognize you have to break a hill, you have to be the one to take a long route. And I can almost guarantee you, without watching this again, Paco is going to start shaping up to take a route based on what his spawn is telling him. First of all, why do we want Paco to be the first guy to take a route? Why? Simply, there's a couple of reasons, but what's the first reason? And brilliant answers, you two. Leezy and STV. Brilliant answers. Quickest, yes, he'll be the quickest, but what does that speed allow him to do? It is the quickest, but what's the end goal of him taking the first route? So yeah, let's say he takes the first route and he gets to here, and it's the quickest. Move players for the rest of the team. Very good. Very, very, very good. And that concept doesn't change no matter what Call of Duty you play. It stays game after game, game after game. So this is the key about Pro COD, is pattern recognition. It's recognizing, okay, what situations are we in and what is the solution for the situation we are in when we're thinking about the overall game. He's not thinking necessarily about how he gets his kill. He's thinking about, okay, what do I need to do to make the game easier for the rest of my teammates? Because as a rule, the first guy in the flow has to take a route because it sets up the other teammates, right? For P2, because by then there's like 15 seconds left. Yes, theoretically it could, but in this case, that won't be the reason why. In this case, the reason why he's the first guy taking a route is because he's trying to stretch the D. What we're trying to do is we're trying to stretch the D. Now, here's a rule for you guys when you're trying to break. The best breaks that teams will have is when it feels like you are everywhere on the map. When you are in a setup as OpTic Gaming, you have everything locked down. You have all of the power positions, you have all of the information, you have everything you need in order to stack the percentages in your favor. When you're LAT, you're in a disadvantage, like I said. In order to reduce the disadvantage you are in, you have to make it feel like on a break, you are everywhere on the map. If you make it feel like you are everywhere on a map, it reduces the chance that OpTic can trade in the right areas and use teamwork to team shoot, right? Because if they know where you are, they're going to be able to team shoot you most likely than you can to them. If I'm predicting you and I'm proactive and you're reacting to me, I know where you're going to be, therefore I can team shoot you. It's very overpowered team shooting, right? So by taking routes and taking complementary routes, you can spread the defense. Now, this is where game plans come in. Is because if you get 4 down like this and you spawn here, everyone should know where they want to go in order to make the best chance of a defense. And this is why scrims are so important. Is if you do it once and it works, Call of Duty is a game about doing things that work over and over and over and over again. It's if it works, scale it. That's how it works. Now, I can almost guarantee you, I can't remember exactly how they do it, but I reckon Paco pinches, another guy pinches, third guy here, one guy top green, right? I reckon they'll do something like that because this will be how they make it feel like they're everywhere on the map. They spread the D. They are using teamwork in order to break, and they're reducing the advantage that OpTic have on this break. So let's keep watching. I know it's been bloody hell quite a lot, but let's keep watching. Right. So there we have it. Number 6 is bumped out, as I said. Why? Because this is step 2. This is the game plan. He's picking up the furthest route in order to read the pressure. Whatever he doesn't see is going to give information for everyone else. He's got information that 2 people have crossed. Third guy, fourth guy in flow is going to watch the right. I can almost feel if these 2 are taking the pinch round, third guy will do this, last guy will do this. And this is why predictions and information is king. And this is why when you have good game plans and you're very well drilled and you recognize the situation, you just do the same thing over and over and over to a certain extent, and you set up stuff like this. So let's see how they play it, and let's see how OpTic play it. 8 seconds left. 6 is pushed out. 6 has a free life. So right here, he can play fast in order to get the first kill of the next wave. You'll start to see some of these good teams do a better job of using their free life. Second guy, third guy, team shooting. Boom. What is good about what LAT are doing right here? They're attacking from every angle. Guys, I have just given you a textbook game plan of what I think is right and what I think they should do. And I've not even watched this properly. I only watched like the last hill. And look what they're doing. And the reason why you can start to predict this is because the game is linear. It's linear. You get into a lot of these repeatable situations, and it's the same thing. You react the same way over and over and over again. And the concepts, I need you guys to start understanding this. If you want to get high-level COD, top 250, IRI challenges, is stop looking at the game in your little square and start paying attention to the overall. Because the overall will determine and make the game easy for you. If you're in the right areas and you have the right timings and you have the right support and you take the right fights, that's how you start to progress to top 250 and high level of challenges. The biggest problem I have with a lot of challenger players, and especially iridescent players, is it's very, very individual based. And what happens is when it's very individual based, you start to take disadvantageous fights. You start to take fights that aren't set up for you. You start to get 1v2'd, 1v3'd, stunned, naded. Look at this from LAT. Is they are in a disadvantageous position and they've decided to take complementary routes, meaning routes that help each other in order to fight, team fight, trade, and shoot people in the back. I will not be surprised if they end up winning this because they're now in a 4v3. My only issue is I think 6 should have been quicker. If 6 was faster and used his free life, he would have spawned up close before these guys are pushed through, well, while they were still here. And he would have spawned up close and helped wherever the pressure's coming from. And then LAT wouldn't be able to do this. But the fact that LAT set up a break by understanding what routes they need to take in what order and the priority of the routes is what I need you guys to start understanding from a strategy perspective. For you guys who are struggling in Crim and Diamond, I promise you, you are not going to get that much improvement focusing on your movement and your aim. Your improvement is going to come from the overall bird's eye view. Like, where do I need to be in the situation? How do I read the situation and make the right decision? And that's where scripting is really important, is if X happens, I'm going to do Y. That's it. Welcome to Pro COD. Congratulations, you guys are pros. That's it. That's all you got to do. Gets traded. Now look at number 4 activating and look at number 1. All right. For you guys, the same question. What should LAT do here? What situation are LAT in? What's the situation Thieves are in? Again, break it down step by step, right? Really try and understand. Fresh wave. Good. So what's the first piece of information they need every single time? The absolute first piece of information every single time. Where they spawn. Good. Right. So hold on. Where they spawn and, very good, Jalen, who? In what order? Because if you're tracking names when people are spawning, that can allow you to then figure out the timings when you're looking for people. Good. When you know where they're spawning and you know who's spawning, you know timings. Excellent. Right. Same thing with the OpTic situation. Who's first in flow? Number 1. Good. Right. And remember, your flow can also tell you your job. Right. Your flow can also tell you what your job should be immediately, game plan wise. What does number 1 have? In a clean wave, what does number 1 have? He has a free life to get info. He has a free life to get info, to get kills of the next wave, because he's just going to spawn up close if he's quick enough, and we know where the pressure is. And pro teams are really, really good at their free life, right? Right, okay. Now, who's the second guy in flow? Number 4, good. Number 2 is the third guy, and then obviously Tyler's going to spawn up close, and he'll be the 4th guy, right? Okay, my question to you guys is this. Why is number 2? Why would number 2 not do this? Why is that a bad play if you're number 2? 1 already have the left, and fantastic, good answers. The amount of times I see this from ranked and challenger teams is just keep it stupid simple. Imagine guys, imagine all of us have chains. Imagine all of us are Django Unchained. We're on a chain march. I'm chained to you. You're chained to me. The best teams that have the best timings and the best abilities to trade, and we call it predictive trading. The reason why pros are so good is you're trying to predict a trade. You're trying to be in positions before the trades have happened. That's why reading the pressure is so important. In this situation with Flo, as he's the third guy, he can bump out number 4. Number 1 can play info. Number 2 can then pick up time, and the last guy's got pinch. And as soon as you guys get information, then we can start shifting around. The reason why flow is important is it allows to put players in different positions to pick up different lanes without over shifting. If you shift before you get information, then if you're wrong, you're screwed. But once you get that information and you play off the numbers, that's how you start to secure time and be able to do something. Right, let's see how they play. And I expect number 4 to push out, number 2 to play time. Last guy spawns up, picks up whatever lane is open as the last guy in the flow, in this conveyor belt. Right, spawns on top of a teammate. That tells you no map progression. Number 1, what is number 1 doing perfectly here? What is number 1? Ernie, one of the greatest ARs to do it. What is he doing? I'd still smoke his bitch ass, but I love him. What is he doing? He's got a free life. Why has he got a free life? Because yeah, there you go. Good answers. Now, this is why your free life is so important. It's because look at how much time he's buying for the rest of his teammates to refill where necessary. He's now telling you how many people's on him for his teammates to then help him. And he gets the first kill of the next wave. And now it's a 3v3. You see that? All because of a free life, because of one play from Scrap, has basically given him 10 seconds from just one play. And the more you play Hardpoint, the more you'll realize, and we had success learning this over the years with Hardpoint, is the more you get into these situations and the more you can maximize your time by making certain plays, obviously reading the game right, the more easier Hardpoint becomes. It's situations like this that win you Hardpoint games. It's 2 things. It's when you are in advantageous positions, recognize what they are, first of all. How do you maximize the advantageous positions? And number 2, how do you minimize the disadvantageous positions? But now OpTic has numerical advantage. They do, but that was because of this nade. It's a risk you have to take. In Hardpoint, you don't win without taking risk. Because one risk can snowball a game. You have to. You can't just play conservative. When you are in advantageous positions, use it. That's all Hardpoint is. That's all Hardpoint is. Now, of course, he can still get naded, and Ernie can... The thing is, Ernie could just sit and do nothing, right? Bluesy boy. The thing is, if he just sits here and does nothing, well, he's going to get ISO'd 1v2'd. So you have to be able to be comfortable taking high-risk, high-reward Charles, because pros are getting better and better and better using process of elimination to figure out where you're going to be. Very good. Very, very good. Right, 12 seconds left. We're playing for new. Six has decided to not take a route. We have numbers here. Right. He's definitely going to check up. Watch this. Yeah, checks it. There you go. Stuns it. Checks it. Ends up dying. Refills out. And then now we can challenge the team. But LAT do a really good job of breaking this somehow. Because everyone from OpTic turned around. Okay. I mean, we're just moving all over the place. All right, someone tell me what number 2 should be doing here. First in flow, this is a free life to pinch top green. Yes, agreed. You know what I think is going to be a better play? What I would do? I would do this. It's a bit rogue. Well, that's what I would do. I would do that, and I would have this guy and this guy team shooting together. He doesn't chow until he's got info, and then number 4 can then refill mid when number 2 dies. That's what I would do. Right, let's see what he does. So, as soon as this is them two taking fights together, which I don't mind. He's playing their side. There you go. Beautiful play. That's a free life. This is why your free life is important, and this is why Paco's so good at it. Right? Do you see the reason why free lives work? It's because you catch people lacking. People, there's this, like, a lot of pro teams, when they get in situations like this, they want to turtle. They want to be happy with what they have because they're scared to die. But what happens is the other pro teams are really good at process of elimination. If you're not here, you're going to be here. If you're not here, you're going to be here. If I'm sat in a corner and they're using process of elimination as a first guide, there's a good chance they're going to check it and you're dead. The amount of times I see that happening is insane. But if you use your free life, you catch people sprinting. I want to catch people sprinting in order to make it a 4v3 for the rest of my team. And then wherever the pressure is coming from, I can just die. I can die, take fights, do whatever I need to do. This is beautiful, Paco. And I look at him, moving around, getting numbers. This is a beautiful P3 from Paco here. Look, oh my God. Shouting dead in the mic. And the best thing about it is because he's used his free life, we know one person's here. We know one person's here. We don't know where he is. Now we have the rotation to new because now we know where the pressure's coming from. Information is king. Hopefully you guys are understanding when to use it, when not to use it, and why it's so important, especially for information and shifting. And then you just refill where necessary. This is amazing stuff. Now look at number 3, taking fights, refilling where the pressure is. Now we know where 2 people are. We're just going to spawn up. We're going to do it again. We know one person's on the left. He's probably going to die here. All good. Look at that. The amount of deaths LAT have had, and they still fighting for the rotation. Now, they might lose it here, but at least they got 2 people on you. Yep, look at that. At least they got 2 people on you. Now we just got to play our life. Oh my God, Paco's moving. He's dancing. And he gets 2. Now he's predicting the 3rd. Look at that. Look how like all stems from Paco's initial play, 14 and 5. Look at it right here. Again, all they do is focus on kills. Why? Because they know what to do, where to go. Look at Paco again. Has a free life. He can do whatever he wants. He's going to take a route. He's going to take a timing. He's behind people. Insane. Probably gets bad timing here, but you get the idea. This is insane. Really good break. Right, I'm going to watch towards the end. Let's do the listening, actually. I need to stop. I want to play 8s, so. Right, going into listening.
Let's go for listening.
Yo, hold the picture, top God heady. Top God heady, Merc. One shot back God heady. One's going ticket, Merc. You took it. I'll take it. Yeah, one's already behind me. 18. 18 one shot. 18 one shot. One more again. One stop it. That's fine. One's going ticket, Merc. You took it.
Look at number 6. Everybody stare at number 6. Everyone stare at number 6. You want to know what the context is? LAT have just squad spawned. Yeah, I get why. But it should never be a thing. Bluesy boy. Look at number 6. Stare at number 6 right now. Just keep watching number 6, okay? Look at number 6. That's it. Just keep staring at number 6. There is no planet. There's no planet. There's no planet where this is acceptable. I don't care what anyone says. I don't need no explanation. I don't want people to be spawn system connoisseurs. I've seen every single spawn system the game's thrown at me, and this is unacceptable. I couldn't care less what anyone says. What are we doing? Playing Dome Modern Warfare 3 again? Are we playing Dome Modern Warfare 3? Is that what we're playing? Am I just watching people spawn now? Is this it? We're just going back to that? Right, let's listen to the comms. guy's so good. What was a good comp there from Ernie? What was a really good comp from Ernie here? Someone tell me what a really good comp this was from Ernie. I'm gonna play it again. Wait, hold on. Right, what's a really good comp here from Ernie? This is one thing I need you guys to do in ranked. If you play with your teammates, come back, I've got a trophy. So one of the biggest differences between pro teams that we work on actively compared to like challengers and ranked is you have different tiers of communication. The type of communication you guys are really good at is narration. Everyone does this, right? Narration is basically say what you see. So say what you see is like one here, one there. And the biggest problem with narration is some of it is just pointless. I can't give a fuck. Like if I'm number 2 and I get somebody one shot here, it does nothing. It means nothing. Crim6 taught me this. It's like it's just cluttering up the comms. It's fucking pointless. You guys in ranked and you guys in challenges love narration comms. It does nothing. When you're playing a fast game that requires a lot of teamwork, this is some of the least amount of useful comms. Number 2 is you have what's called what's it called? It's like predictive comms, right? These are it's small talk comms. These are comms where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. Did I end up taking the train ride? Fuck no. Did I? Hell no. Hell no. So the small talk comms, they're the type of comms where you tell your team what you're doing. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do this, right? And this is another gap between, say, ranked players and challengers and pros. It's like pros are really good at saying what they're going to do. Because when you say what you're going to do and you're following a game plan, I instantly know what I need to do. If my game plan is A, B, C, and I know you're going to do A, and I know someone's going to do B, well, I know instantly, without even looking at my minimap, I'm going to do C, and I'm going to focus on my kills and my timings, right? This is another form of it's a different level of player when you start to do these small talk type of comms. And number 3, this is the most important comms that none of you guys do. I can guarantee it, none of you guys do. This is the predictive comms. The predictive comms is basically you're using all these pieces of information that you have in your head, that you're thinking about what you're doing, and you're telling your teammates to do it. This is a form of a predictive comm. If you say, yo, I got a trophy, the reason why that's significant is it's not the fact that the trophy is significant, it's part of the game plan. Because if he's then on their side, obviously he's not going to get naded. He's playing to not get naded, right? But then he's going to die from here, or he's going to die from here. By using the predictive comms, he's telling him and directing him what he should be doing without a BZ even thinking about it, right? If Ernie just said, I have a trophy, a BZ is going to slightly hesitate and be like in the moment, it's a simple thing, but like there's that hesitation of like, okay, what do I do with that? Right? But then if you say I have a trophy, come back, it's the comeback bit that elevates your teammates because they just listen immediately. Right? That's when trust is a big thing, and that's when you do something without overthinking it. That's where you guys have to get good at doing the predictive comms. It's good to say I'm pushing out left, but then say I'm spawning them here, watch this. Or one of the worst comms I hate is when somebody says I spawn out. Okay, you spawned out. Where did you spawn out? In Somalia? In Nicaragua? In Mauritius? Like tell me what this means, right? And one thing that I want you guys to start doing is if you spawn out, it's not to say why you spawned out, but tell me where they're going to be based on you spawn out. At this point, you should know what that means. And it's the same way with setups, it's the same way with game plans, it's the same way with all these things, is do the thinking for your teammates because your brain can only remember 6 or 7 things. Biologically, you're wired to remember only any one time to do 6 or 7 things, right? You can't hold more than 6 or 7 pieces of information. So when you're playing in a pro league game, you have to think of the 6 or 7 most important things. And when your teammate does the thinking for you, it takes away from your cognitive capacity. Meaning you don't have to think about it, you just do it. So you have 6 or 7 things that are the most important shit. That's why that's important. That's where small talk's important. That conversation. This was sick, by the way. Holy, I saw this clip on Twitter.
What's top green? Two.
This guy's a turret. I'd still beam him though. Oh, I wish I had my hands on this guy. Oh, that's so good. I'd smoke his bitch ass. Just know, I might go 1-30 against Ernie, but I'm never giving up, bro. I'm gonna beat him. I'll never give up. Ernie, if you hate this, I don't care, bro. I'd rather go 1-96 than 1-30 because that means I've given up. Dead. No, this is sick. This was so good from Ernie though. This is so good. Bro, this guy, man. They're the comms that I really like. That reinforcement of like, hey, we gotta rotate. Because in situations like this, you feel like you have to do too much. It can happen, right? That was honestly amazing. Because if you lose it, yeah, 100%, yeah, 100%. Then you're gonna spawn out anyway, yeah. But I like that anyway. I'm probably worried about a nade or a stun. Getting towards the time. 8 picks up the left. 6 is the last guy progression. This is fine.
Feeling like the classic. We're gonna end on a P3 rotation.
Oh my god, this is mixy as hell. This is right there. This is pressure. It's because OpTic had no map progression. So this right here, this is. I know the pressure's on. I know the pressure's on. Sheesh. Oh, I'm nearly done. I'm playing 8s after this.
Awkward opportunity here.
All right, so you say they win it. So do they win it on this P2?
Right into the mud, right into the trenches. Over to P2 we now go to the motel.
Right, first guy, nice.
Right into the mud, right into the trenches.
It's the swing map for LAT, biggest game apart from map 7 for OpTic.
Over to P2 have taken it.
Right, chat. Talk to me, chat. Talk to me, chat. What number in the flow is Shotzi? Right, talk to me, chat. What number in the flow is Shotzi? Number 1. All right, cool. So right here, what's Shotzi going to be thinking? What do we know? What information do we know? Based on some of the information I gave you guys earlier, especially with wave by wave, keeping the game in front of you. If he's the first guy in flow, what is his job? What's good, Darnell? What's good, my boy? My future lawyer, touchwood. Take space. Good. But how much space do you think he should take? Why not just instantly? So my question to you guys is, if you're Shotzi, you're the first guy in flow. Your flow tells you what your job is, right? We know what our win condition is with 4 seconds left. We're trying to rotate. So right here, if we're first in the flow and we know what our job is, we're trying to get space and we're trying to get info and we're potentially playing the next best position with the weapon we have. He has an M15. Why does he not just go phew? He's got an AR, so he's got to play the position based on the gun he has. Good. He should know 1 is at ult and 2 are rotating. Good. We don't have a clean wave. We don't have the kills. This is where you guys need to start developing anticipation. When you start to predict where people are going to be, you start to position yourself. And again, this is where the whole chessboard comes into it. It's less about worrying what you need to do individually, but it's more of how you fit into a bigger piece. When you understand and bring your teammates into the play, it makes the game easy for you. So by him being the first guy, his job is to try and make people overextend potentially. If he doesn't have the timing, it brings number 8 and potentially number 5 into the play. If he just ran it down and banged it, he's going to scam. And when he scams, it's 1 less player on a rotation to a P2. What he's then going to try and do is take a timing and then fight off a teammate. And again, I want you guys to consider the pressure is on. So they aren't going to be making the most efficient plays that they would in like scrims, for example, because everybody's screaming and the game's about to be won. Like it happens to everyone, okay? Win condition for them is the OpTic aren't the same. OpTic needs to get kills. Yes, spot on. Spot on, Apollo.
The trenches.
So like right here would have been fine. So in my opinion, right here would have been fine had they just continued to play the wave. And with number 7 spawning out, would have then re-picked up the pinch. Then we know where the pressure is going to be. Then we know exactly where one person is going to be. We play to get kills together. And then if you wanted, you can push up, flip them behind you if needed. But again, you play the wave first. And this is what I didn't like. What did I not like about this? What do you guys think I didn't like about number 6? And I'm not going to be super critical because again, the pressure is on. We're all human, right? But right here, what is it? What I didn't like? What do you think he could have done differently? What do you think he could have done differently? No, so Bluesy, he doesn't have a free life here because his free life is only going to be used when you have a clean wave. Right here, the wave is not clean. We've not made kills. We have a prediction or an idea of where they're going to be. So you have to play for your 1 kill first before you decide to do anything. Right here, he made the perfect play to get into this corner. He's then decided to push out to get more space without information or bringing his teammates into the play. He should have played, in my opinion, even though he has an M15, you can pull out a pistol, I don't care. If he let Dashi play an AR fight and give you information, then he could play off that. And this is where flow and setups become really important. This is how you then chow off a teammate. He could have literally used Dashi as the sacrificial lamb, the sacrificial Lebanese lamb, for then Shotzi to start feasting. But then he ended up doing it before, and now Dashi's in a position where he has to take an off angle to try and get 1 kill. And he's now taken a 1v3. And again, this is super critical, but this is pressure. This is when you're playing and the game is close and the heart rate is going and pressure's on, and even simple stuff like that is really hard to do in the moment. Pro Call of Duty is a game of making the less mistakes rather than playing perfectly. It's about making less mistakes than your opponents. It's not about being perfect. It's about being less shit than your opponents. Right, let's see what happens here.
The Thieves, hard point now.
He's crack aiming like it's Black Ops 3.
Scrappy is taking care
So
of
right
it.
here, can you imagine if Shotzi was still alive? He would be dead. 7 would refill top. He would potentially dead. They'd spawn here and they'd just hold it again. Then he can activate potentially if he has a time in and spawn him deep behind. That could have potentially been a play, and that all starts from a snowball from 1 scam. And that's why your game plans and flow and systems become really important, because you can start to put teams in disadvantageous positions with every kill that you make. That's how you start to play proactive rather than reactive. Again, linear situations, the same shit over and over and over. So Brandon wouldn't have need to do that. 2 would be dead. 3 would have been traded out. And then 5's pinch would have worked a lot better because we spawn them deeper and they have to worry about it. Yeah, he bought so much time here. I don't know how he did this. I thought LAT were going to win this. I really don't know how he does this here. Right, we're back in the time. We're trusting the game plans. How do they win this? How do they win this? We're in a 3v2 situation. We know 1 is in the hill. We know 1 is top. We know where both people are going to be. Process of elimination. Number 4 is probably thinking he's either behind here or he's going to be here or here. He's playing for the spawners. He can't cross because he's going to die from 5. Shotzi gets 1. Shotzi gets 2. Shotzi gets 3.
Too many things to worry about.
Bro, I saw this on Twitter. This was sick. Watch this. This was sick, right? Dude, no, but they can't go, Jay. Jay, they can't go because look at how messy this game is. 3 has to cut this or he's gonna die. Look at this. Look how sick this was. Oh my god, this was sick. I thought LAT won it when I saw this clip. How do they not win this?
Who wants it more, Miles? Who wants?
Why are they not banging out? Why are we not aping? Right here, I'm thinking, yo, Packers world starred him. They can't? They can't do this? Oh, he's done the whole team? Oh, okay. No. What? You can't tell me they just can't double ape top? Like they normally do? Like they always do? Like they literally always do? Like that's their game plan? Is they double top? You tell me they couldn't do that? I'm telling you, if someone was with Neum here, and Neum was just sacrificial lamb, dragon aim assist, even though these guys are stunned, I reckon they win that. I reckon they win it. How's he stunned the whole team, though? But he's making them OE. I mean, they're still in a good position here. Oh my god, these stuns are insane. Oh my god, these stuns are insane, man. Can we get rid of stuns? Can we GA stuns? I'm sick and tired of stuns. I'm starting a fucking PR shit, bro. Get rid of stuns. Let's GA this shit.
rotation game, but they do indeed have to contest.
Fair
OpTic
enough.
have the
But look,
pressure.
I'm still
But
thinking they're
I'm
still
telling
gonna.
you,
No, they're not gonna
Dash
win
is
here.
down there, getting
Yeah,
there. It's the
GG's.
foot race. It's the foot race now. Number 7 is going to be the first one there. Scrap, the only one that can stop it.
Ernie.
It's going to be a P3 finish. OpTic are in first.
They're so OP good in this game. I think the worst thing about stuns, it tells you how many people you stun. I think from an info standpoint, I hate stuns. Just from that. Like, it makes sense, but I hate it. Personally, I hate it. Alright, I'm sick and tired of this shit. Right, are we playing 8, so what?